You aren't broke because you are bad with money. You are broke because the country keeps borrowing like there is no tomorrow, and the bill always lands on regular people. Here is the bold claim. The United States has lost its AAA reputation, and that downgrade risk shows up in your life as higher interest rates, tighter credit, and inflation pressure that never seems to go away. Today, I am going to prove that claim by showing you 3 things: why the US was downgraded, how exploding debt turns into massive interest costs, and how those costs quietly raise the price of your mortgage, your car loan, and your everyday life. Quick dry note. If you thought national debt was just a political talking point, that optimism is impressive and financially dangerous. Let's start with how credit ratings actually work. Countries get credit scores just like people do. AAA means safest borrower, highest confidence, no drama expected. The 3 agencies that matter are S&P, Fitch, and Moody's. Here is the pattern. S&P removed the US from AAA back in 2011 after a debt ceiling crisis and no long-term debt plan. Fitch downgraded the US in 2023, pointing to political dysfunction and irresponsible fiscal policy. Later that year, Moody's followed, citing deep divisions, repeated near defaults, and exploding debt. That matters because all 3 agencies are saying the same thing. This is no longer a one-time mistake. It is a habit. Now, let's talk about the debt itself. The national debt is around $38.4 trillion, and it is projected to cross $40 trillion next year. But honestly, the real problem is not the debt number, it is the interest. Interest payments have risen from about $345 billion in 2020 to nearly $1 trillion projected for 2025. That is roughly 1/5 of total government revenue going to interest alone. Put that in household terms. Imagine earning $100 and spending $20 just on interest before paying for housing, food, insurance, or saving for the future. That is not growth. That is survival mode. So, meet Carlos. Carlos and his partner, they make decent money and, budget pretty carefully. They refinance a car, renew their insurance, and carry a small credit card balance. But when rates rise, their monthly costs go up by a few $100s, even though they haven't changed their lifestyle at all. That squeeze didn't come from any bad decisions. It came from the price of money rising across the whole system. And that price, well, it's anchored to Treasury yields. Here's how government debt actually becomes your burden. When the government runs a deficit, it issues Treasury bonds, basically IOUs that are sold to investors. Those bonds, they're repaid with tax revenue. So national debt isn't just some abstract thing. It's really a deferred tax on citizens and, honestly, on future generations. Imagine borrowing money in your family's name, spending it poorly, and then handing the repayment schedule to your kids. That's pretty much what long-term fiscal mismanagement does. Now, let's look at the red flags that rating agencies really care about. Deficits are constant. Interest costs are just exploding. Political dysfunction keeps leading to shutdown threats and debt ceiling standoffs. Major programs like Social Security and Medicare, they've got long-term funding gaps. And debt, it just keeps growing faster than the economy itself, which honestly is one of the clearest warning signs in sovereign finance. If watching trillion-dollar problems get handled with last-minute panic is your favorite genre, well, go ahead and hit like, because the algorithm loves honesty more than Congress loves accountability. When a country is downgraded, borrowing gets more expensive. Treasury yields rise, and since most loans in the economy are tied to those yields, mortgage rates, car loans, and business credit all start to feel the impact. Higher borrowing costs slow growth, add pressure to households, and increase market volatility. And, when funding costs rise too much, policymakers often reach for the easiest tool, which is money creation. That path risks higher inflation, weaker purchasing power, and deeper inequality because asset prices adjust faster than wages. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. There are three possible fixes. Cut spending, which is politically painful. Raise taxes, also painful. And, honestly, mathematically limited. Or print money, which is the easiest choice. And, usually the most damaging over time. That is why outlook matters. America isn't bankrupt tomorrow, but the trends, rising debt, rising interest, repeated dysfunction, and no durable plan, are exactly what rating agencies punish. If these patterns keep up, another downgrade into 2026 or 2027 is not a wild prediction. If you would rather prepare your finances than trust politicians to suddenly develop discipline, follow moneytreeandme. Your wallet deserves a backup plan. Let's loop back to the opening claim. You are not struggling because you are bad with money. You are feeling pressure because the country's creditworthiness is deteriorating and higher borrowing costs and inflation risks flow directly into everyday life. Here is how I demonstrated it. We covered the downgrade history, the surge in debt and interest costs, and the direct link between Treasury yields and the rates you personally pay. Was this helpful? Let me know in the comments. What part made the most sense, and what money or security topic should we tackle next? Thank you so much for watching. Check out our moneytreeandme profile for more helpful financial literacy videos. moneytreeandme, providing better security and ensuring better lives. Before you go, take a moment to reflect. How does the national debt affect your life, your family, or your future plans? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, share it with a friend or family member who might benefit too. Together, we can start important conversations and build a more financially secure community.